Hey everybody, it's Andy from Beyond Guitar, and here we are with our Deftones Milk of the Madonna walkthrough. It's a new song, it just came out today, so I listened to it. I know you listened to it. It's pretty cool. Looks like the Deftones are back, and they're coming on strong. So let's figure out this song. Here we go. First thing you got to do is tune up your guitar, and so you're going to want to tune to drop D tuning. All right, so low string, drop D. Your other strings are tuned to standard, okay? So the next string is A, then D, then G, then B, then E. Okay, that's drop D tuning. Drop D tuning is great. A lot of Deftones songs are in drop D tuning because if you just strike the three lowest strings, you get a D chord, okay? This song's in the key of D. I watched a couple other YouTube guitar teachers out there, and they're, showing you, hey, it's a G flat, it's a D flat. No, it's not. It's F sharp and C sharp. Okay, we're in the key of D. Two sharps, right? D major, all right, or B minor. Anyway, you don't have to know any theory to learn this song. Here we go. Let's dive into it. All right, so I guess we'll start with the tabs first. Let's look at the tabs first. So looking at our tab here, we got, there's like a 2-measure intro at the beginning, right? There's 2 measures with sound effects. The tempo is 118. Okay, and then the first riff that you start with, I've written out as 4/4-X6. All right, let's talk about that. Okay, how does that make sense? 4/4-X6. So what I'm doing is I'm barring the 4th fret. I get 4th fret on the low string, 4th fret on the 5th string. I'm Xing out the 4th string, and then I'm playing the 6th fret. It's almost 4/4-4-6, but not quite. 4/4-X6. That gives you more of an open sound, okay? Okay, so why am I doing that? So that I can lift. If I lift my bar, I can play an open string, okay, on the D string, the 4th string. So right now the 4th string's muted. If I lift my bar, I can sound an open D. Okay, why do that? Because you get the flat 9, okay? You get a flat 9. It's almost the same as doing this. Okay, but that's less dissonant. He's got 4/4-0-6. Pretty dissonant chord. Okay, but he doesn't just bang on that chord all the time. He uses it in rhythm with the song. Okay, so you throw that in there. Use your ear. Okay, so keep going. 4/4-X6. And it could also be 4/4-0-6, depending on the rhythm, okay? Play that for 3 measures, then simply play a 2nd fret bar chord. Okay, let's go back to showing the tabs on the screen. Let's put the tabs on the screen. we got 2nd fret bar chord, 2, 2, 2. Okay, and then open up your hand and let those open strings ring. Okay, so give it that space so you can let those open string notes go. Okay, saw some other tabs online that shows 0 on the E, 0 on the B, but also 0 on the G. I suppose that note, yeah, it's in key, but that gives you a minor chord, and I'm not really hearing it on the recording. Maybe the keyboard's playing a G, but I think he's just playing string 1 and string 2. But if you really want to, you could play string 1, 2, and 3. I think that really changes the sound of it, though, and adds a lot more dissonance. If you don't play the 3rd string open G, then you get a really open sounding chord with less dissonance because there's no 3rd in the chord, okay? Gives you a more powerful sound. If you include the open G and you play that minor 3rd, it's going to be a lot more dissonant. Okay, so we covered the first line. So there's our first verse right there. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the thing to notice about the song is that you have 1, 2, 3, switch on the 4th measure. Okay, that's going to be a pattern that you're going to see throughout the song. 3 units of one chord, 1 unit of the next chord. 3 measures of one chord, 1 measure of the next chord. Okay, so that's the pattern. Okay, repeat that over and over for 4 lines as he sings the verse. All right, let's skip ahead. Now we're on the chorus. Okay, now the chorus switches it up. Because on the chorus, you play single notes. Now, there's nothing more powerful than a single note. If you play a single note, it can't sound dissonant because there's not another note to clash against. So instead of chords, or instead of dissonance, you play 1 finger. Okay, so you might you might hear that in some Black Sabbath songs, you know, Electric Funeral or whatever. You're going to hear single notes on the low string, and that has a heavy sound, and it can't sound dissonant. So 1 note. You got 0, 7, 4, 7, repeat. Okay, now there's definitely a slide, right? Every time you play 7, slide into it. So start with 0, slide into the 7, play a basic 4, slide into the 7, play a 0, slide into the 7, play a basic 4, slide into the 7. Okay, so the 7 should have a slide on it every time. You know, I think there's a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of vibrato. There's just a little bit of vibrato, okay? Like this. You know, not like a Zakk Wylde vibrato, okay? It's not that. It's just smaller. But still kind of fast. Not too much, you know, just a little. So practice your tiniest vibrato that you can play. Especially on the number 4. Okay, the number 4, you can hear a little bit of vibrato. Okay, well the chorus seems pretty easy and it's fun to play. And it just repeats a couple times, like most choruses do. Play it twice. Okay, we're back to the verse again. play 8 measures in the verse. Oh, I forgot to mention, though, in the chorus, remember how we talked about the pattern where you got 3 units of one thing and 1 unit of the next thing? Look at the rhythms, okay? How does it go? 3 counts on the open string. 1, 2, 3. 1 count on the 7. 3 counts on the 4th fret. 1, 2, 3. 1 count on the 7. Hey, we did this earlier, remember? 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. That's a recurring pattern in the song. Before it was 3 measures and 1 measure. Now it's 3 counts and 1 count. Okay, next part. You got your verse again, which is the same. You know, don't change anything. Just play it again. You got your chorus again. All right, we already covered that. Just play it again. Same notes. Nothing's different. Next section. All right, we're all the way up to the bridge. Okay, so here's the thought. Remember how he talked about the 3 and the 1? Here it is again. All right, during the bridge, there's another moment where he holds a note for 3 counts, and he switches to another chord for 1 count. So he's recycling that 3 and 1 idea. Okay, let's cover all this stuff in the bridge. Here we go. You're going to start with a 2nd fret bar chord. That's an E. You're going to play a 4th fret bar chord. That's F sharp. You're going to play a 9th fret bar chord for exactly 3 counts. 1, 2, 3. You're going to play an 11th fret bar chord for exactly 1 count. And then triple 0. At a later point in the song, the triple 0 is actually 12, 12, 12, which is the same chord an octave higher. And so Stephen Carpenter is doubling his guitar part. He layers his guitars, so one guitar is playing 0, 0, 0, and one guitar is playing 12, 12, 12. And if you study orchestra music, you'll definitely find out that octaves, stacking octaves, always sounds good. You can't have dissonance if you stack octaves. All right, it's always going to match. So 0, 0, 0 on one of the tracks, 12, 12, 12 on one of the other guitar tracks. All right, so how does the bridge go? You got fret 2, 4, 9, 11, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, so far, everything in the song has been a 4-measure phrase. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and scroll all the way back to the top just to kind of make my point. Okay. How many measures is the first verse of the song? 4 measures. What about the next part? 4 measures. How about the next line in the verse? 4 measures. How's the next line in the verse go? You guessed it, 4 measures. How about the chorus? What's the chorus like? Well, that's 4 measures. Next line in the chorus, 4 measures. Verse, 4 measures. 4 measures. Chorus, 4 measures. 4 measures. Bridge, 4 measures. And then, surprise, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, Deftones, you guys can write some interesting, catchy songs because look what he does. He puts in an extra measure. He plays that last measure again, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. That has 1 more measure, okay? It goes up to 11. Actually, this goes up to 51. Okay, it's a 5-measure phrase, so you play 1 more extra measure. It extends it, makes it longer. So by making that section longer, it just seems more it just seems more important, like something's happening, okay? So add an extra measure at the end of the bridge. Make sure you notice that, because that's going to come again later in the song. All right, keep going. Let's finish this song. We got another verse. You already know the notes. We covered that. It's the same. You play the chorus again. We already covered the notes. Here's the bridge again. And don't forget, when you play the bridge, there's that extra measure again. He does it a second time, so there it is. Okay, finally we're into the interlude. Okay, you're going to need to smash your effects controls here. And I don't know if you can see it very well on the screen, but I got my Fractal XFX 2 down there. And then, you know, on the floor, the cords are too short, but I have the controller. Psh, there you go. And so I've got it set up to where I can play the metal sound. Okay, and then I smash the button, and you know, and then I've got the interlude, the tremolo part with the clean sound. Okay, and the way I've set it up is I can play a chord and it can sustain, and as I'm sustaining it, I can smash the button. Okay, and there's not a dropout. There's not a click. There's not a moment of silence. In fact, the tremolo and the reverb and the echo that's happening keeps on tremoloing and echoing and reverbing while the new sound begins, right? So let's check that out. I'm going to play a sound, you know what, the lead sound. Okay, and then listen. The lead sound reverbs away while the tremolo sound takes over. Okay, so there's not a hard punch there. There's not a dropout, so I've set it up that way on purpose. All right, so get a smooth sound during the switch there. All right, so change your sound and get your tremolo clean guitar going, and then play 00022. Now that's a D major 7 chord. Okay, now don't smash it with your pick like, you know, you might do in all the other riffs in the song. Instead, you brush it, okay? So da 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 da. You hear the individual strings. So, you know, it's like you're petting the cat, you know. You just have to be gentle and slow with your strum. All right, just take it easy. It's a different sound, all right? So you're not going to bash the strings like a caveman with a club. You're just going to kind of finesse it, you know, gracefully. Okay, and once again, here we are with 3 measures. You got the first measure. You got the second measure. You got the third measure. And then, of course, you switch chords for 1 measure. Okay, that's an E minor. This time it's definitely 222000. It includes that open G. Okay, so 3 measures of 1 chord, 1 measure of the other chord. Okay, let's play it. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Now there might be some picking in the third measure that I didn't put on the tabs. But don't worry, it's easy. So first measure, strum. Second measure, you can strum or just let it keep ringing. Third measure, you can strum again, and then go. 0 on high E. 2nd fret, string 2. 2nd fret, string 3. So 0, 2, 2. Some picking there. Okay, that was easy. We're almost done with the tabs, then we're going to play the whole song all the way through. Here we go. Here's that extra measure again. Okay, after you play the interlude twice, play that last chord again. So it happens one more time. The Deftones put in that extra measure of music to make the interlude section a little bit longer, and they're making you wait for the entrance of the chorus a little bit longer. So one extra measure. Okay, that's pretty much it, right? Because then they play the chorus, and then they keep on playing the chorus again. So double chorus. It's a songwriting tool. When you get to the end of the song, play the chorus twice. All right, it's actually 3 times. So triple chorus. All right, then what happens at the end of the song? Add an extra bit where you just go 0 and you just play. You know, just rocking the open D string. It's not even a chord. It's just that low D. Da 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 da. That's the end. Okay, we covered the entire song. I'm going to put a link to this tab down below if you want to download the tab. All right, then I'm also going to put a link below where you can download this too. This is a Logic Pro session. And if you have Logic Pro, you can download this thing and just use it to practice along at home, okay? Here's the drum track. And here's a guitar track I already recorded, but I'm going to play another one. I'm going to play along with it. Okay, and then up at the top, you can see I wrote intro, verse, chorus, bridge, extra measure, verse, chorus, bridge, extra measure, interlude, extra measure, chorus, really long chorus, triple chorus, ending. So it's all labeled there at the top. And so you could practice along with it if you want to. The track is at 118 beats per minute. All right, let's do it. We're going to play this song top to bottom. Get ready. Here we go. If I turn the metronome on, you could probably come in right at the right spot at the beginning. Without a metronome, you kind of have to guess. Like, when does the first note come? All right, I'll turn the metronome on. Otherwise, it's hard to tell when to play the first note, right? Because there's not a count in or anything. So here we go. We're going to rock this song from the beginning. Ladies and gentlemen, Deftones, Milk of the Madonna. Get ready. Here we go. Of course, don't forget to put on your headphones, Andy. 3, 2, 1, smoke burn. missed the button smash. Keep going. Extra measure. All right, we got it. All right, I missed the button smash. Okay, I got to practice that. Okay, so let's play it one more time, and this time we'll actually look at the tab screen, okay? We'll pull up the tab screen. If you want to download that Logic Pro, I'll put the link down below, everybody. Okay, let's try this. This time we're gonna just jam along with the tab, all right? This is Guitar Pro 5, and I'll put this link down below if you want this file also. Here we go. Okay, but we got to turn the clicks on. Okay, here it goes. Got to make sure the metronome's going, otherwise we won't be able to come in on the first note right. Two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't forget the extra measure. Extra measure. smash that button. Extra measure. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Okay, we played it all the way through twice. Cool. Hope you got lots of value from that teaching video, and hope you learned the whole song all the way through and know all the notes now. And drop a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed watching that video, and consider becoming a member. Okay, it's only $5, and I have a whole bunch of different guitar exercises that you can play with backing tracks on my members only channel. Okay, so you can unlock those for $5. All right, thanks everybody for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Andy from Beyond Guitar, and I'll see you next time. Bye everybody.